Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted game from the Red Bull Wololo tournament. $10,000 are on the line in today's qualifier. Then another 10K will be on the line when the final two players are selected. We are currently in the round of 64, if I'm correct about this one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's round of 64. This is going to be a best of 3 then between Kimo here in the blue color, who is sporting Hades, and his opponent on the other side of the map in the red, playing as Isis. This is Grand Monster. Okay, very cool matchup. And the map is Megalopolis, so you've got this town center in the middle, which changes everything we know about the matchup, right? In theory. Granted, this town center doesn't secure anything, so it's one of those late game, super late heroic pickups at the very worst. But Kimo with Hades typically has been liking his 2TC play. Megalopolis also now gets towers at the beginning, which it didn't used to in the original game. So it basically acts as a nice standard map, and you just end up fighting over this thing. Whoever claims it has a good time. If Isis claims it with the population bonus that the god gets, that would be pretty nice. Then from here on, yeah, Kimo likes his 2TCs, right? It's a very solid way to play against Isis. You got tons of time to prepare for a fast heroic push from Isis, with Ancestor's Eclipse coming in as they go for Bast and Nephthys in the heroic age. That's pretty much always what they do. We could be seeing something else, but I don't think Grand Monster has picked up the half-war meta just yet. I don't think there's a half-war meta, by the way. I'm just memeing. Nonetheless, the temple is coming up, and we've got some relics to check in the meantime, because still some time in the archaic age. Blue crystal shard for faster wood and gold. Now 5% is not a big amount, right? The upgrades themselves are 10%, but half an upgrade for free? That's pretty good stuff, right? We've got the Scarab Pendant, which would make siege towers better in the heroic age, so that's probably something that Grandmaster would be interested in. It also makes other siege weapons better now, not just the melee ones. So Helipole is affected, and you know, Petrobolos affected, Catapult affected. That's a pretty big deal. Harmonious Necklace is an actual gold mining upgrade, so that's pretty good. And you got Archimedes' Ledger, which reduces the population cost of siege weapons. So you kind of see a pattern here emerging. Siege towers are gonna be very population efficient, very strong, if Grandmaster takes his initiative and picks up all those relics. He would have to use his Pharaoh or get the gold upgrade for that, however, whereas Kimo just makes his Archaic Age hero and already is gonna capture the blue crystal shard, which is great for Hades, because Hades is all about those archers. He gets an extra range on Toxotes. In the heroic and mythic age respectively, they unlock their big new armory upgrade for free, which is ballistics. It makes them hit moving targets reliably. And then there's Burning Pitch, you know that from the old game. Makes them good against buildings. Well, not good, but not bad. We've got Bast as predicted, of course, for Grand Monster. And it seems to be a setup that is very much leaning towards heroic age. He's got a good amount of food in the bank, but he has idols. He has idols. This is a disaster in the tournament environment against a top player like Kimo. Really shouldn't be bothering. It really shouldn't be bothering Kimo that has happened. He's happy, I think. Grand Monster has some pretty good vision, at least. So looking at his obelisks, they're all over the map. He knows all the important locations of the resources. Gonna get some extra scouting done with the Sphinx too. So that ends up pretty good. Then chat is asking, would I say fast heroic as Isis is viable? I think it's a lot weaker than it used to be. So not only is Greek in general a lot better, because you can make your heroes as you age up and stuff like that, and then you got the 5x Sentinel to defend yourself, and they're pretty strong as well. Then you got the Archer improvements, then Cavalry is very suitable now against chariot archers. Even Prodromos in the heroic age hard counter chariots And meanwhile, Eclipse has been nerfed from a plus 50% effect to a plus 20% damage effect on Myth units. So Ancestors is going to be a lot weaker as a result with Eclipse. Your other Myth units are going to be weaker, but you do generate a little bit more favor, so you're going to have more Myth units. It's just the Ancestors Eclipse combo itself is weaker. Eclipse lasts a shorter duration. It no longer blocks God Power, so you can use Restoration in the middle of that, which is exactly what Kimo is prepping for. We've got the Nefties clicked in, so we know it's coming. It's just what exact form of it is coming is the question. Armory is up, so at some point we should hopefully see a weapon upgrade for Grand Monster. Typically the Egypt players do want chariots. And we're gonna have 4 villagers on the wood. Minotaur's coming in to whack the villagers a little bit, but it's not gonna work out, of course. They are gonna get healed up by the priest again. The priest has no better job to do than to heal them up, but of course delivering some damage points to the Minotaur is important. Kimo slowly working away at these obelisks. He has no walling just yet. And you know, actually about this map, Megalopolis, you've got a lot of open space, so walling it would be very difficult. Archimedes' ledger is still out for picking up. Should Kimo decide to do that? I really like that he's guarding his villagers, by the way, with the hero. That's just strategically really sound. Because you could get raided by the Sphinx, you could get raided by later the Scorpion Man that's about to pop out. And also I really like this decision from Grand Monster to move forward with the villagers before his advancing, so that as soon as he does, he can just pop down this Migdol stronghold. I'm not in love with the placement of it. I would like it closer to the gold mine so that it can actually guard it, but it will do the trick for the most part. Now, Kimo is walking really far with those villagers. All the villagers are going into his main base, so I think he might be forfeiting the TC, ultimately. He's only now starting to pump Hippeus. The archer range is coming in. He has nowhere near enough resources to even contemplate Heroic Age, of course. So what he's going to have to do is get some form of shield upgrade, and then a medium cav and medium archers, and just hold with Hippicon Toxotes. He doesn't have any other tools right now available to him. He's going to be dealing with chariots and camels. And a lot of Scorpion men, I would assume. Wait, is there a second monument or no? There's just one monument. That means a single Scorpion man is all that Grand Monster can make, actually. That's not great news for him. He's about to lose this priest too, in exchange for some damage on these units, but Restoration will heal them up in the later stages of the game. So, you know, this is not a lot of damage to have suffered here. Something to bear in mind. Something to bear in mind. We've got additional archery ranges now from Kimo, and his TC should be able to hold relatively well. He has 0 villagers on favor rather, and he has just 8, so he can nowhere near recast Sentinel or anything like that, but he is clicking up Aphrodite off of a 1 TC economy. This is gonna be this TC is absolutely getting crushed. There's no way to hold it. There's not enough units out, even if villagers were nearby. I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. Kimo is gonna want to pump out his Prodromos and his Peltast to deal with chariots and camels alike. And it's pretty much a perfect recomposition against what Grand Monster is doing anyway. But yeah, this TC is toast, man. It's toast. Never picked up the siege relics, which is very sad. Would have made everything just a little bit better. Ancestors Eclipse is still going to be available for the later stages of the game. It's just a matter of when. Kimo is going to have Curse to get some of those low HP units, especially if he comes out with the Lion to do a roar, further lowering the health of these units. He really doesn't want to engage though with Hippeus into camels. Unfortunately for him, his tower as well as his sentinel are shooting siege towers at the moment. The tower has already been destroyed and the sentinel is pretty much next. Curse is used, but so is Ancestor's Eclipse. And there's only the 2 heroes. The third hero is going to be critical in order to turn the tide here. Restoration is used to fight through the early stages of all this. The heroes are trying to pick off as many of the minions as they can, but restoration is now gone. Grand Monster is pushing in as hard as he can, but is it enough? I'm not so sure, ladies and gentlemen. There's just a lot of units suddenly popping out of Kimo. The dead units even create a bunch of shades here. Let's hide this panel so that we can see a little better. All these pigs now belong to Kimo, which means he doesn't need to farm. He can keep enjoying his 48 villager to 36 villager advantage, and all he needs to do is not lose this Nemean lion and just chase down the priests as well as the chariot archers. Now that's not happening, so Grandmaster will be just trying to get a second TC in order to economically catch up, but Kimo is like, yeah, I've got pretty much everything I wanted out of that already, so he just keeps getting further and further ahead as the economy continues to do its job. These villagers are just idle. The Pharaoh isn't even empowering the process, so the TC actually takes a long time to build. Meanwhile, Kimo securing a second gold mine. He's got good economic upgrades as well. Wow, he's got the Harmonious necklace, so 15% extra gather rates for these guys. Plus, of course, the actual eco upgrades that he gets from his storehouses. Meanwhile, for Grandmaster, he's about to get raided. This TC location is maybe even forfeit. I'm not sure he can get it up, guys. It's gonna finish, yeah, but these Hippeus rather, are really going for it, and the archers are hugging the Migdol, which means the Migdol can't shoot them. They are about to get on top of the chariots. The Prodromos also doing a good amount of damage there. There should be at least an equal trade, and Grandmaster just getting forced to repair. More idle villager time here. But unfortunately for Kimo, his units went in a little bit too deep, and I'm thinking they might be going down here for sure without getting any further kills. So he's having to pull out. He didn't have any siege with this. Man, he could have even attacked the TC with the archers while he was building. It would have done some extra damage, but now he threw a little bit of his lead, right? There's no doubt about that. He still has a lot of it left, so there's plenty more to throw. I'm kidding, he's not gonna throw it. He's getting a new TC, and that's gonna keep him afloat here for sure. Could be doing double pump villagers shortly, and he will still be ahead by almost 10 villagers. It's really good stuff. That is really good stuff. And he's probably ahead in upgrades because of those relics as well. He's mining gold real fast. He's pumping out a composition that will beat that of Grand Monsters. Just a matter of making sure that he has the third hero so that he can effectively take on the Scorpion Man, and then he's off to the races, ladies and gentlemen. That is looking good. Alright, a little bit of walling. He's preparing for the later stages of the game. Once these giraffes are gone, you can be pretty certain that Kimo will be grabbing the back town center too, and then just going for a Mythic Age transition. If you put down a Earthquake here, the TC is definitely toast, and it would heavily damage the Migdol stronghold too. So that's probably the next objective for Kimo. 190 population is what's possible on the 2 TCs without fortified TC upgrades. So the third one eventually is happening, but who knows when. He might go Mythic first. You know, you also have to worry about the Egyptian Mythic Age. That's Grandmaster's opportunity here to go Meteor, do the Meteor Shower on either Farm TC or one with a lot of villagers around. This one has a lot of scattered buildings, which means that the Meteors will be hitting a lot of random buildings and very likely not so much of the town center. But here, it's pretty focused stuff, right? TC would definitely go down. The villagers would go down, the farms would die as well. So that's a good option. However, Grandmaster is nowhere near. He's gonna start with Spearmen. He's gonna get ballistics and heavy chariots. He's spending all his economy. He's gonna be in a very extended heroic age here, ladies and gentlemen. Markets are starting up as well. But we've got a relatively larger fight. Some targeting going down on the Scorpion Man, but the Greek heroes were a little nerfed in HP for the Archaic Age. Still, the Paltas are countering the chariots, no problem. Fortress is up as well, so Kimo could contemplate whether he wants to go for some siege push thing. So really nice poison attack, but the Scorpion Man will pay with his life for that one. Not ideal for Grandmonster. He would have wanted to get more and more value out of that over time. Oh my god, Kimo just capturing the middle TC. That's something I didn't see coming. Okay, that's a pretty good opportunity here for him to start getting siege out. He's getting heavy cavalry right now, but he barely has cavalry units. I don't know, man. It would be more effective to just make more cav first. Definitely would be more effective. He's going for the elephants in the corner. My goodness, there are 3 elephants here. How did I miss that? Holy! Grandmonster has the same situation. He's also going for it. That is nuts. This is actually a really good game. Now the heavy Hippeus are pretty strong here. They also have at least the weapon and the shield upgrades, which is going to be great against all these chariot archers. But this is not exactly a pushing army, right? Like, you can trade away against the opponent army. Third town center coming up for Grandmonster as well, and Kimo has his eyes on that bad gold mine. Not necessary right now for Grandmonster to go for that. He in fact has a lot of gold, so I would much prefer if he actually just went for farming. Because he's definitely overgathering the gold right now, and Kimo is very nicely gearing up for that Mythic Age. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Peltas at heavy upgrades as well now, and he's gotten ballistics for them, so they no longer miss even. Masons is coming in, Golden Apples is coming in for faster favor, and blasting at that TC with the Petrobolos is very nice as well. Grandmonster is losing every single chariot he's ever owned. Oh my god, this Migdal Stronghold is in so much trouble. Kimo knows he can just make more and more Petrobolos. I just wish he had those relics for them. That would be very nice, but I don't think he's thinking about that right now. Anyways, he doesn't super need them. It would just be nice. The Peltas are so high in number at this point that they are able to deal with the mercenaries. This is absolutely sick. A lot of Prodromos are getting pumped out. He realizes how much of an advantage he has, so Prodromos will be beating any and all mercenary cav that do come out. The Spearmen, by the way, in Retold do not have a bonus damage against Petrobolos, so that's something for the old school players to know. Don't try to dive this if you can't take it out, because you don't get the free bonus damage there. No siege weapon receives bonus damage from anything other than villagers only. They're pretty good against each other though, because of their relatively low crush armor. So there is that. Well, we've got the 2 Petrobolos now trying to take down this town center. It may or may not happen. Kimo has a lot here to protect it, but is it quite enough? I don't know. The repair has gone through and the TC is healthier than when this fight started, but Artemis is coming in. And so long as Kimo is farming sufficiently, he will be able to start pumping out Chimera. He's even raiding this bad gold mine, as I was talking about. He has his eyes on that one. And Grandmonster is going to have to resign this one. Wow. Kimo just winning in every single category. And now they're gonna have to go for some other gods here. And obviously the map will change as well. 128 kills to 89. So Grandmonster really needed the extra Scorpion men. Pull them back every now and then to heal them up and just generate value over time. That would have been the objective. Separately raid with them as well during the Ancestors Eclipse. It's not all about that one main push, right? Like, you want to catch out some villagers with those things. You got those really fast boys and they do so much poison damage. That would be the way to go.